Hello, Jim Laird from Jim Laird Strength and Conditioning. Just got done with a good day here at the gym. It is a beautiful evening here in Lexington, Kentucky, and I wanted to hop on here. Kevin asked a question on the YouTube video I shared about the Q&A challenges I face as a coach, and he talked about having issues with Type A clients, and just wanted to give my take on that. I have a lot of Type A clients, obviously, but the interesting thing is most of the Type A clients come to me usually out of desperation. People usually change because of two reasons: one, desperation, or inspiration. And most of the Type A's that I get have either used running or some sort of high-intensity exercise as kind of a therapy for them. Type A people are ass kickers. They take no prisoners. They're highly successful, highly driven people, and they usually think that no matter what they're doing, the harder they work, the more the result they're going to get. And Robert Sapolsky in the video that I shared of his lecture, Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers, talks about that how Type A people are at higher risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and like myself, when I was lifting competitively, I was super Type A when it came to my job and came to my lifting. And obviously I had some serious health effects as a result of that. So most of the people that come to me that are Type A are either struggling with some sort of autoimmune issue, or they're broken as far as like they're in pain, or they've got like some issues of some sort. So educating them about leaving a little bit in the tank every time they train, about maybe putting some more effort into their lifestyle, isn't that difficult. And the ones that come to me most people don't come to me because they're thrill seekers, but the ones that do, I will give them stuff like 30-30 on a prowler. Push the prowler for 30 seconds, rest for 30, drag it backwards for 30 seconds, or some sort of Tabata like body weight medicine ball stuff that doesn't really going to create a whole bunch of trauma, but it's going to wear them out and make them feel like they've done something. And then I will teach them after that how to chill out and breathe and relax. And I kind of educate them on the fact that maybe a little more effort needs to be put into the recovery and the restoration and the sleep side of things, and the walking outside, so that they can maintain their intensity in their job. Because most of the Type A's I have are working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. They own companies, they've got families, they've got a lot of them are entrepreneurs, a lot of them are mothers that have maybe multiple jobs and have kids, 3 or 4 kids. Racheal Mathews was a prime example of that. I did a podcast with her on Body.io. I'll link the Q&A this is from, the Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers, and then I'll put Racheal's up. But Racheal was just destroying herself multiple sessions a day, and really didn't make any progress until she really bought into taking putting herself in a better place. And a lot of times in training sessions, people will complain, they're not getting what they want, or they don't feel, hey, why am I so tired, or why am I struggling with this, or why haven't I made any improvements? And that's where I kind of take the time to educate them. They ask me a question, and I'm like, well, when's the last time you went for a walk? Have you gotten a massage lately? How's your sleep been? I start asking them questions, and they start saying, well, I haven't been sleeping well, or I've been so busy, I don't eat all day, and then I go home and I pound 2 bags of potato chips and drink 3 glasses of red wine. And so you start basically asking them questions about where they're at and how they're doing, and that's kind of how I take it. And then getting them to understand, like, a lot of the people that are Type A have done a lot of high intensity stuff, so I can kind of slow things down a little bit, and it's really, really tough for them. And it's kind of a way to kind of show them, like, all right, if we slow this down a little bit, we slow the tempo down, or we make you own these positions or own these exercises, they start realizing that maybe they're not as good a shape as they thought they were in. And then over time, and they also talk to other members of the gym that have pretty much been through the same thing, and they kind of talk to each other, and hey, I was the same way when I started, and then I finally started buying into things. And then every once in a while you get one that doesn't really get it, and they either leave on their own, or you just basically say, hey, I've got somebody across town who might be a better fit for you. But that really doesn't happen very often. Most of the people that come to me, I've been doing this for so long here in Lexington, they kind of know my philosophy, and a lot of people end up being referred to me because somebody else that was struggling with a lot of those things, that's how Racheal ended up with me. She was referred to by a friend that thought I might be able to help her, and she was desperate enough and in a bad place, she was willing to be coached. And when you have people that are in a bad place, or for myself, when I was in a bad place, that's when true learning happens, and that's when people are willing to make changes. So speaking of changes, I just totally redid the Jim Laird website. So if you want to stop by there and check it out, Jim Laird, GYMLAIRD.com. I have my blog. I moved my blog all onto that site, and I'll be doing updates on my blog there regularly. I'll be doing a newsletter soon. I haven't got that completely done yet. That's kind of picky, and I'm not very good at that stuff, so I'm working on that. But right now, there's an Amazon store on there with products that I recommend. There's some different coaches resources. And speaking of coaches resources, my good friend Mike Robertson is releasing a coaches product, like a coaching certification product. And Mike, honestly, Mike and Bill Hartman up at iFast have been a huge influence on me, and I attribute a lot of the success that I've had with people to them. Understanding position, having a better understanding of how to get people in the right position with simple exercises. And Mike is basically going to share his entire training template, and that's the thing that you need some sort of template that you can plug and play and play around with different exercises for people. He's going to share his entire template. He's releasing it on September 3rd. I'll share a link to the you're going to sign up for the insider list, where you'll get a significant discount if you decide to register for that, and you get a Bulletproof Athlete PDF, which is really nice. I actually went through it today. You'll be able to get that template for free for signing up for the insider list. And then if you do decide to purchase the product, which I highly recommend, you will get a significant discount. So that link will be below as well. So I'm really looking forward to putting out more content. My number one goal is to help as many people as possible, either through products that I recommend or just giving you a different perspective on kind of how I approach things, and not necessarily that my way is the right way or the only way, but I've been doing this for quite a while, and hopefully I can provide some insight for you into how I think. And I'm constantly looking at other coaches, Mike Robertson, Eric Cressy, people like Pat Davis, and looking at like Zach Couples, what he's doing. One of my former good lifting buddies, Ryan Patrick. These are all people that I'm looking at and seeing what they're doing. Ben Bruno is another guy I look at, and I've left a whole bunch off that list. Bill Hartman. I'm constantly looking at these guys and seeing what they're doing, and going, oh wow, that I really like that. I can integrate that exercise variation into my template of what I'm doing. So in this business, you want to look at things and like, hey, that really makes sense. Like, I really like that exercise that puts people in a good position, and then figuring out what exercises work for what people. Because, and the nice thing about Mike is he's got Bill, and Bill really understands and is very honest about the human body and how things work and how complex the organism is. But, zone of apposition and infrasternal angles and all this changing pressures and all these things, your client really doesn't care about that. All your client wants is a safe, fun experience that saves them time and allows them to basically have more free time, and so they get the result they want with the least amount of time possible. That's at least how I've sold my business. Train with me twice a week and walk every day, and you're going to get better results than people that are going to the gym every day, and some of them training twice a day, if you take good care of yourself and if you train fairly hard twice a week. That's kind of been my formula for look good and feel good. Now, performance is a totally different animal that we can talk about at a different time, but Bill and Mike have been able to. Mike, actually trains people all the time, and you can tell by a lot of the videos he puts out that are just really basic. And that's really, if you're a new coach, that's really what you want to focus on, is the basic fundamental movements. And then if you run into little hiccups from there, you can integrate some of these other things. But most people don't really care about the details, and they don't want to know about all the science, and they don't want to know about all the anatomy and the physiology. A lot of us coaches really kind of geek out on that stuff, but most clients just want a safe, fun experience. So check out that product by Mike below, and if you want to look into the Robert Sapolsky lecture, that'll be down there too, and the original Q&A, and then also the podcast that I did with Racheal on there will be down there as well. So hope you have a wonderful day or evening, or hopefully it's not late at night when you're watching this. And as always, don't be a zoo animal and get your ass outside.